Welcome back to another great episode of What Your Watch Says About You. In today's video, I'm going to go over 4 watches, and I'm going to let you guys know what I think these timepieces say about you or whoever owns and wears these particular watches. Now, as always, I want you guys to be involved in the comment section and let me know if you agree or if you disagree. Let me know if there's a point that I missed that you guys can also share of what these particular watches says about the person that owns them. Now, before we get into the video, remember to give it a like, share, and subscribe. And now let's get into it. The first watch is going to be a Rolex Sky-Dweller. This watch can be in any metal type. It could be yellow gold or stainless steel. Here's what it says about you. For one, you have to be on the larger side because this 42 millimeter size watch will look ridiculous on your wrist if you have small wrists. It is somewhat of a dress watch and it has a thin profile, so you may be able to pull it off. But for the most part, I believe that you must have a large wrist to really make it look good. The Rolex Sky-Dweller is one of Rolex's most complicated timepieces, which is the most complicated movement and functions. Now, the one thing about the person that owns this watch is that they really don't know how to use the functions. They don't know how to really use the watch that well. Maybe when they first purchased it, the seller or the dealer kind of showed them how to use it, but I can guarantee that this person doesn't know too well how to use the functions on this timepiece. Here's a clip of multi-millionaire producer Michael, who actually owns this particular watch. And in this clip, he's trying to sell the timepiece so that he could put the money into some other investments. And also in the clip, he kind of shows that he don't know how to use the functions.
Let me see that one. You know why he's selling it, right?
Why?
Because he's never been able to set the time.
I don't know how it works. I know you turn this thing backwards and forwards. And
so you see, look, the red dot at the 11 o'clock represents the month. That's obviously the day. And then the middle one is the military time, which is your dual time zone. And it's all based on the bezel, right? So first turn on the bezel is the date and the month. Second is your local time. And then the third, last one is the second dual time zone, the military. It's actually, once you get it, it's super easy.
And I must add that I wrote the script for this, What Your Watch Says About You, before seeing this video. So it's just to show that I'm always on point with what I say.
Okay.
I do want to expound on the point where I mentioned that producer Michael is selling this collection of watches so that he could use the funds and the money for other investments.
I am going to sell, I'm going to try and sell
Yes.
you some of the watches that I bought from you back to you. I've got an investment opportunity and they just sit in the bank, they do nothing, I haven't worn them in forever. In fact, some of them I haven't worn at all.
Yeah.
Right. So you're going to buy them?
I will. I think you have to deal with
This
Gabe,
is
though.
going to be fun.
You have to deal with Gabe.
And this is also to show in one of my previous videos that I made where I was talking about, is it shameful to sell your timepieces during rough times or to sell it for, to use the funds for investments and other things? This is a good point because producer Michael is a millionaire. And that's just to show that timepieces, sometimes they are an asset that we have to use to liquidate, to use to pay bills, to invest, and to do other things. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with selling a timepiece for something important. And lastly, this watch tells me that there's a great chance that you're a rapper because a lot of rappers tend to reference and wear this timepiece in their songs and their music videos.
Dance with her, freestyling, let me dance with her. Sky-Dweller, yo, sentimental.
Thing in my necklace, negative 4 degrees. Sky-Dweller look like a trophy. In my bracelet get caught in
12 cars, 8 Jeeps. Sky-Dwellers, 8 peeps. Roses, ferocious.
And if you're not a rapper, you're probably influenced by hip-hop culture. That's one thing I've recognized is that certain rappers and people in hip-hop love to wear these Rolex Sky-Dwellers. Now for the second timepiece, a Breitling Navitimer. Now it could be any Breitling, but just for the video, I'm just gonna say the Breitling Navitimer. This watch tells me that you're probably European, either Albanian or from the UK. A lot of European people, a lot of people in the UK love Breitling. I don't know for what reason, but this timepiece is loved in that part of the world. This timepiece also tells me that you're a manly man, if that makes any type of sense. That you're not somebody that's a pushover, that's influenced by a lot of the BS that society is trying to push on us, this timepiece says that you're that guy.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. The double champ does what the fuck he wants.
And lastly, this timepiece tells me that you're a fan of the James Bond movies. Odd for me to mention it because Breitling was never one of the timepieces that James Bond wore in his movies. It was only Rolex and Omegas, I believe. A Breitling tells me that this is the type of movies that you're into, someone that's into saving the world and fighting crime. The third watch is the Citizen Chronomaster. This is a budget-friendly timepiece. It's one that's compared to often with Seiko. It's not considered high-end luxury, but just like Seiko, it's a brand that deserves respect for their craftsmanship and overall build quality. This watch tells me that you were conflicted when you were trying to purchase a watch. You were kind of between Seiko and Citizen because they tend to have watches that resemble each other. There's a high likelihood that at some point you're going to have both a Citizen and a Seiko in your collection. Now for the last watch, it's going to be the Rolex Datejust 41. It could be steel or two-tone, doesn't matter. But there's two scenarios of people that I see wearing this timepiece. One being someone with a small wrist that this timepiece just shouldn't be on, and one with someone with a wrist size that, sure, the watch does look good. Now for the guy with the small wrist that's wearing a Rolex Datejust 41, I would say that this person is new to collecting, and this may be their first timepiece. Now, when this person went into the AD or to the gray market dealer or whoever to purchase this timepiece, that person was definitely given the wrong information, because I'm sure they were able to choose between the 36 and the 41. But for some reason, some people think that bigger is better when it comes to watches. I don't know if they think it's just going to stand out more people are going to look at it, get more attention, but that's definitely just a rookie mistake that's made in the beginning, especially if you have a small wrist. Now, if you have a decent sized wrist, one that this Rolex Datejust 41 would look good on, it just tells me that you just wanted to buy a really nice dress watch for a great price. The thing is, though, that you were on a budget, so the Rolex Datejust was the lowest price dress watch that you could get from Rolex, because the other step up would be the Sky-Dweller or Day-Date, and that was just out of your price range. So you just settled for a Rolex Datejust because, in all honesty, the Rolex Datejust looks great. And I think it looks better than a Rolex Sky-Dweller. Definitely not better than a Day-Date, but it gets the job done for sure. You're probably entry level in whatever part of life you're in. You're either a junior associate or a junior analyst or whatever field you're in. You're a junior, you're definitely not a senior. Once you get to a senior, you're probably wearing a GMT or a Daytona. That's just what I would think for someone that's wearing this Rolex Datejust. That's it for today's video. Remember to share your comments down below. Give the video a like, share it, and subscribe if you haven't done so yet. Also, turn your notification on so you can know whenever I post a video. And stay tuned for the next video.